Hello, I'm Raphael Faudou from Atos. I'm in charge of, I'm the head of R&D, method and tools for a scope which is embedded system and embedded software. In Opees, we are involved in several work packages. The first one is really important, is the definition of the business model. Atos brings the experience of the Topcased project, a well-known open source project, modeling platform. And from this experience for now 6 years, we have learned a lot of things concerning the business model, how you can earn money as a technical provider with open source. Well, it's not something really new, but the difference with the Opees initiative is that we don't want the new structure, Polarsys structure, to be something centered around technical provider, but we want it to be centered, focused on industrial users. So things are quite different because in that case, this is not the provider who delivers the roadmap. The roadmap is defined jointly by the end user and the technology provider. So the experience of Topcased, the experience of doing business with services around the open source, we bring it to the Opees project through the first work package. We are involved in other work package. The third, which is the definition of process, the main process concerning Opees and the next Polarsys entity, the change management process, for instance. And we want to define the label, the way the label will be, or the brand will be given to providers, because in Polarsys we want to avoid the free riders, the company who will be interested by Polarsys that would just join to make business and that would not invest in the ecosystem and the community. So the idea is that we define the right process that give the ability to newcomers to come and invest and come into the ecosystem, and then to have the brand after 2 or 3 years according to different criteria. So we have to define the criteria, the whole process to become a new Polarsys branded member on given component like Topcased or something else, which is important. And the work package 4 concerns experiments. So as experiments, we want to experiment the different components in the Polarsys structure and test the new infrastructures. And infrastructure services, we mean the wiki, the forge, the Hudson for continuous building and things like that. And in that area, we want to introduce new tooling to support the workflow of process. It means that currently you get the Bugzilla, okay, it's for change management, seem to be okay for most of developers, but at an industrial point of view, we know that it's not enough. We want to be able to have different sheets, the analysis of your request, the modification of your request, the delivery of your request, and we need more powerful tooling, and so we want to bring a meta-tool solution that is used by Airbus and Austrian Satellite, which is the GPM meta-tools. And so in the work package 4, we have some budget to do that, to explain how it works and how we can help the community to have better support for industrial users. The benefits is for Opees. Well, we think we have this place as we have a strong partnership with Airbus, and you can consider Opees as the initiative to give sustainability of the Topcased project. Airbus doesn't want to pay for 30 years to sponsor or maintain a Topcased alone. They want that there is some community with others to pay for that. So we have natural place there to do the support of Topcased and other components from Polarsys projects. So currently, we already have a support agreement with different companies, and we expect that Polarsys gives the rule to have more contract, more business with others concerning the component we know, and to define the rules to have other competitors, but with some guidelines very clear, and to get vision on several years. What is really important when you do support is that you can have some visibility on more than 1 year. So I expect, and I will insist on that on Polarsys, that there are some rules that give us visibility on, I would say, 3 years, so that I can manage my team to provide support for the next 3 years. I get this visibility so I can have the right person at the right moment. Opees is not finished. It will finish at the end of this year. It's already a first success because we reached the first target, which was to create an entity, Polarsys. And so that's the case. Polarsys exists as an industrial working group of the Eclipse Foundation. So that's the first good target. And the second target, which is more difficult, probably the most difficult task, would be to define the clear rules of the change control board. The change control board is the way end user and technical provider are going to exchange and to define the final roadmap of the Polarsys release and platform. This is really difficult for two main points. The first is that the end user, the industrial end user, they don't have exactly their same roadmaps. Some of them, for instance, Airbus would like to deploy the modeling approach now, in the 2 months or currently for the current aircraft program. For instance, Astrium Satellite would like to deploy this tooling for the end of this year, and probably Ericsson wants to deploy it in 2 years. So as they have not the same roadmap, they don't insist on the same parts of the development. Some want to fix bugs, others want to add new features, and so there must be consistency, or it's really hard for the technical providers to put the efforts at the right place and on different branches of code, which is quite different. So there are issues with configuration management and with alignment of roadmap of end users. The second difficult part is that you have several providers. It's not only one commercial editor who manages everything, who knows everything. We have the CEA from DT Papyrus and Atos who collaborate on this project. And it's not so easy to work on the same base of code with different customers, different goals, and something like that. So when you put everything together, that's quite of a challenge. We have to define the rule, the criteria, so that the change control works and everything is clear for Polarsys for a very long term. Yes, really interesting. I think most of us didn't expect so many people, and that's a great success. I'm really happy that the German people could be rare, because it gives us, it's not just Toulousan local day, it's more an international Eclipse day, and I think the talks are really good, and I suppose that many people were happy with that because they learn a lot of cool things.